Hello and welcome back to Teal House Farm. Today is going to be a very entertaining video because I am going to build a door for that chicken coop. Have I ever built a door before? That would be a no. Do I know what I'm doing? I have a general plan. We're going to see what happens, but it needs to be done. And Sam's just been working so much overtime. He hasn't had time to get around to it. It really needs to be done because we need to get these chickens back out on the grass, but we need to be able to keep them locked in and safe at night. So we're going to try to build a door today, and hopefully we can do it. And I think we can. I think I have a general knowledge to be able to put this together, even though I've never actually done it. So we're going to learn together. Let me show you the general setup right now. The chickens, duck, goose, big ones are in there. We have some baby chicks that are almost big and a duckling in here. We want to introduce these two flocks to each other, but we don't want to just toss them in there and have them get beat up. So we set up a temporary paddock inside our sheep fence. And that is the, oops, don't touch it. And that is this right here. We're going to get a door on that coop, clip some chicken wings. That sounded funny. And then they won't be able to fly over the fence. We're going to open up this chicken paddock so that it goes up against the barn. And then the big chicks will be able to come out during the day with the little chicks still inside this movable coop. So they'll get used to seeing each other. And then in a couple weeks, we'll actually remove the movable coop. I also want to put a splash pool in here over here for the ducks and geese because this is uphill from my garden, so then we can drain it down the hill to the garden, which will be great. But that's a project for another day. Today's goal is to get a door so that we can let the big chickens out during the day, lock them back up at night. I have a plan A, B, and C. Plan A is to take this door, which used to go to the upper half of the barn, like the loft on the barn, and fit it. I think it'll fit. I'm just eyeballing it, right? But it looks about the same. So we'll actually measure it. And if it does fit, then that's really easy. We don't have to build a door. Plan B, if that doesn't work, is to take the hinges off of plan A, put them on this pallet, and then use this pallet as a door. Concern is the pallet too heavy for those hinges? Plan C is to rifle through the barn for all the spare lumber, try to make a door that looks like that. We'll follow that design, but would be the correct size. If that's not the right size, take the hinges off of it. That's plan C. So hopefully we don't have to go plan A, B, and C. Maybe plan A will work, but let's find out. Let's find a measuring tape. Okay, here we go. Plan A. We're going to see if this door is going to fit. I have actually never measured it. I just eyeballed it. It's used to go to the top part of the barn. It has like a loft up there, but it's got a different door on it now that fits a little more securely. And we give it a measure, and we're going to go over and see if it fits our hole. It did not. It's a little bit too short. It's wide enough. The width is actually almost perfect, but it's too short. So I'm just kind of thinking, trying to problem solve. If I added an extra line of wood on top, maybe we could just make it work. Or if I hung it not quite flush, would it work? Just kind of trying to figure out what to do. But it is so heavy. I underestimated how heavy this door was. It is old, very hardwood. It is heavy. And the hinges, which I'd never really looked at that closely, are definitely rusted in place. They have been on here a very long time. And so I don't think I'm going to be able to take these hinges off and use them on the pallet. At this point, you can't hear it because I've muted the video, but the word mom and watch this has been yelled at least 6,000 times. And I feel like I can't think straight because I can't get 5 minutes of alone time in my head, which is making me really flustered and making this even harder. So sometimes I feel like I could take over the world in the day if I could just have my brain space to myself, but you don't usually get that as a mom. So we're trying to work on what feels like 20% capacity because the other part of my brain is trying to help everybody else and keep track of what they're doing outside. I decided I need to call some muscle over so we could try lifting this up and just get an idea if we could maybe hang it in the middle and then add maybe a row of wood on the bottom or the top just to make sure nothing could sneak in the bottom. And I think I maybe have a plan to get a piece in there and make it work. So we're just going to try hanging it, just putting a couple screws in and hanging it and just to see if it'll work. But then I discover that the screws that we have are definitely not the right screws for the job. I cannot even get them in a little bit. Can't find a drill bit. I cut out the part of me trying to rifle through the barn for a solid 20 minutes trying to find a drill bit. I just cannot find them. The screws sheared off as soon as I got them in there, even a little bit, just broke right off. So these are not the right screws for the job. I think we're just going to have to head to town. We're going to have to spend just a little bit of money to give this another go. All right, we got to go to the hardware store. We're going to get hinges and we're going to get better nails. screws, whatever. That way we can do any of the options that we need, because right now I just can't make it work with what we already have. We just ain't happening.
Mama,
yeah, look at that. Okay, we've got, I don't know what you call these, hook and eye closures. Yeah, hook and eye closures so that we can latch it once it's closed. I wanted heavier ones than that, but that was the best they had. We got some heavy duty outdoor hinges. These are for, and a second one, I got 2 of them. And then I got better screws for plan A. So if these better screws don't work, then it's hinges on the pallet to try plan B. But I don't think I can get the hinges that are on the old door off because they're really rusty. Yep. Okay, back from town, feeling a little bit calmer. The kids are inside watching a movie. I decided that was the only way I was going to be able to think long enough to get anything done. Plus, it's getting a little later in the day, so I gave them an early dinner and turned on a show for them, and I'm hoping I can get at least 30 minutes out here without being interrupted every 3 seconds, so I can think this problem through. The door is just too heavy, though. In a minute here, I'm going to have to go get reinforcements because I just cannot lift and screw at the same time. It's got to weigh 40 pounds. I mean, it's heavier than a feed sack, so it's more than 40 pounds. So we grab one person, but she's definitely too little. So we go back inside and grab one more. If I could just get it lifted a little bit, we could just put a temporary screw in, and that'll give me a general idea of whether or not this is going to work at all. I just want to see if it'll swing. Stuck. I don't have a very good mind for like physics of things. I want to see if a hinge will even swing if I screw it in here, or is it gonna get bungled up on the ramp. The girls give it their best shot, but it is just too heavy and the wood is so hard I can't even get the construction screws through, so I probably should have gone with nails. Okay, I can't get it. If I was to do this, the hinge, it won't swing around the corner. Can't mount it flush, so the hinge wouldn't help. So it would be building a brand new door, and I was looking through the scrap wood, and I don't know if I have enough pieces that are long enough without using pieces that I know Sam is saving for other projects. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to solve this problem. I just want the chickens to be able to get out every day and be locked in at night. I feel like screwing a pallet up every night would get kind of annoying after a while. I don't know if there's another way to make it latch. It doesn't have to swing open. I could pick it up and move it, but obviously it won't stay here suspended over the hole. If we just lean it, it doesn't cover the top of the door. It's not tall enough. So I'm not really sure. I'm gonna think on this. Try to figure out. I just don't want to spend money. I know we say that all the time, but something like this is not something I want to spend money on, because it should be something I can problem solve without spending money. I think in general, in our modern world, we're really quick to just spend money to find an easy solution. It would be an easier solution to just go buy a piece of plywood and cut it down to size and put hinges on it, but there has to be a free solution to this, or a solution that only cost me the $10 I spent on hinges and screws. So I'm going to ruminate on this. We will give you an update hopefully next time we see you on how we manage to solve this problem. Anyway, I hope you all are having a great day, and we'll see you guys again really soon.